forced organ harvesting from live Falun.
In front of China's consulate, practitioners of Falun Gong accuse the Chinese government of forcibly harvesting the organs of the spiritual group's prisoners. Zheng Zheng speaks about her experience after her arrest.
On the day while we were transferred from the detention center to the labor camp, the person we saw, to our surprise, was not the police guard, but a doctor. We were first taken to an unknown place where a doctor was waiting for us and to integrate us about our medical history.
The majority of the organs are all coming from Falun Gong practitioners.
Dana Churchill is a Falun Gong practitioner with Doctors Against Forced Organ Harvesting. The group works closely with Falun Gong.
65,000 Falun Gong practitioners are estimated to have been murdered for their organs from 2001 till about 2006, 2007.
A Chinese government official speaking to the China Daily dismissed the allegations as sheer fabrications by the Falun Gong. He said not a single Falun Gong practitioner has been subject to forced organ transplantation.
We listing every organ transplant.
Harry Wu spent 19 years in Chinese labor camps. He eventually became a U.S. citizen and is a prominent human rights activist. He is skeptical about the Falun Gong accusations.
If you want to protest, if you want to argue, if you want to show up in front of the Chinese government, it's right. But I told Falun Gong very clear, you really need the evidence.
Wu has spoken with patients and doctors in China and says the practice of removing the organs of executed prisoners continues, but there has been a change in policy.
China until today, more than 30 years, removed the organ from executed prisoners. If we give a small estimate, like 4,000 executed prisoners averagely every year, 30 years, that means 120,000. Huge number.
Dr. Gabriel Danovich at the University of California, Los Angeles is a member of the Transplantation Society, also known as TTS. He says TTS is working with the Chinese government to establish a transplant registry similar to those in the United States and Europe.
I believe that at the highest levels of the Chinese government and health ministries, a decision has been made and there is an understanding that this practice must come to an end.
Danovich says China also needs to change a system that caters to the wealthy.
China has been almost like a department store for organs of people who are coming from all over the world to pay for those organs and pay big money for their organs.
Doctors and human rights groups say change will not happen overnight, but Danovich is hopeful that international pressure will move China to adopt an ethical way of acquiring organs for transplant. Elizabeth Lee for VOA News, Los Angeles.